I just checked I checked the listings. I got a brand new episode of Supernatural at 7, and then I got the debate at 8 o'clock. If I watch them like back to back like that, I know for absolutely certain that the debate is gonna ruin Supernatural for me, because I kind of need some time after the episode to let it sink in. Or at least that's how I watch stuff. So, at the same time, I kind of want to see the debate, even though I already voted. I mean, highlight reels never really carry it, right? So, I guess my only option is to watch Supernatural, watch the debate immediately afterward, and then go back and watch Supernatural again tomorrow. Because I can do that. I have the app on the TV. Alright. It's 7:45ish, and I've got to get functional and help my kids with their school stuff. Fun. I don't really have anything to say about this number. I mean, still great, but not incredibly impressive, so I mean, I'm happy about it, don't get me wrong. It's 9:26. I've already had most of my shake. I'm fixing to get into my coconut drink because I need some caffeine. And I am still hating this shirt, and I think I've pinpointed what I'm hating about this shirt. It's a combination of the V-neck and the slopeless shoulders. It has the lines coming off sideways. Makes me look droopy. So, I don't know how much longer I might keep it. Alternatively, it might not be the shirt, or maybe the shirt and bra combo that I'm hating so much. Also, black yoga pants today. It's 11:50 a.m., and I just realized that I could turn some of those low-carb tortillas into low-carb tortilla chips. We have salsa. We have queso. I have a lot of avocados. And some little pre-made guac mini cups. I'm thinking about it. My pain is kind of flaring up, and I don't want to move very much, so the chips may have to wait for tomorrow. But, it's gonna be about lunchtime. Gonna have to do something anyway, so yeah, still thinking about it. Things get complicated for lunch, so instead of just showing you guys a picture and a time, I'm gonna tell you guys it is 12:37, and for lunch, I made some coffee. I got it in my church cup here. I have to finish this up. I love these things. May be partially a kind of an acquired taste, but yeah, this is kind of my go-to instead of sodas. Now let's get into this mess. I got into the kitchen. I wasn't sure what I wanted to get into. I didn't really want food, so I just kind of went with what sounded like the least stomach churning for me, and then just kind of built from there. So this is, I did 4 of these. This is a slice of ham wrapped around cheddar cheese, shredded cheddar cheese, not very much of it, lettuce, and a little bit of tomato, but I cut up the entire tomato, and it was one of the big ones, like the burger size slice kind of tomatoes. I don't know what type that is. It's definitely not a grape tomato. Those are much smaller. And I realized I hadn't gotten into my black garlic in quite some time, so I kept the rest of the tomato and added the black garlic to it, which the black garlic is absolutely delicious. And so the tomato and its own juices and a little lettuce shreds left on the plate after I made my little ham pocket thingies will effectively make a little cold salad next to it. And we'll see how this thing tastes. I will report back to you guys on how this turned out. Okay, the warm and slightly fried ham with the melty cheese in it is still a little bit warm despite being in the same bowl with the tomato and black garlic. And I tried a little of both, and wow, I outdid myself. This is really, really tasty. Both the tomato and black garlic, and the little weird ham pockets. So yeah, I'd definitely be willing to do this again. I think maybe adding some chunks of avocado would be good. In either direction, either heating it or in a little salad. This is really good. You do have to watch the black garlic though, because I used a whole clove, and it is so tasty. But it is actually 100 calories. Just a little single clove bulb of garlic that's been fermented for 6 weeks. So I think I'm gonna have to get like a mini Instant Pot, set it up on like a shelf somewhere, and make my own black garlic. This stuff is awesome, and the flavor is kind of slowly leaking into the tomatoes. And if I had thought about that, I could have made this, chopped up the tomato and garlic, set that up in the fridge around breakfast time, and kind of let them merge. This stuff is awesome. It's really good. It's 1:14, and I'm all done with lunch, and my nails are bugging the heck out of me, so I'm sitting here trimming them because they've gotten a bit long and crazy. And I'm doing the nails on my left hand, and that might be interesting for you guys to know if you're, inclined to find this stuff out, that I actually really wear myself out just trimming my nails on my left hand. Like, I had to do a break after 2 of them, and then another one after my middle finger. So I'm gonna show you guys what. So as you can see, this is how I hold the clippers when I gotta do my left hand, because I have very little strength in this hand, very little grip. My right thumb is pretty much useless. This is the extent of motion I've got, and the grip is super weak. I grip with my fingers. This is very common for folks with a hypoplastic thumb. That outline there, yeah, that's my tattoo. Also got a bunch of scars, but here's the deal. I am gripping the top section of the clippers here to open, and then it takes the full weight of my arm from the shoulder up to press down to clip through the nail, and this wears me out fast. This is also why I don't do it very often. Like, these get super ratty, and it's not just because of the guitar that I amuse myself with. So it takes quite a bit of effort. Drives me up the wall. Almost done. And then I've got, thankfully, a little drill-like nail filing. It's almost a Dremel thing. That helps me take the edges down a bit more, because there's no way to be exact with this. And I think I burned my finger while trying to cook earlier. So that was a surprising amount of calories today for lunch. That was a lot. If I wear myself out to the point that my hands start shaking, then we're in trouble, because then I won't be able to do this at all. Ow. The washcloth is on the table to make certain that clippers don't slip, because these are very pokey. It takes forever. It's 5:55, and I just played my first game of Among Us, which was a deal to get my kid to settle down, focus up on an assignment that he had due today, and actually turn it in by 5 o'clock. Fun stuff. So I got dinner right here, and we're gonna sit and chat. I had basically a low-carb version of Swedish meatballs with lots of mushrooms and some cheese, and a low-carb whole wheat tortilla. It's going to be an interesting evening because we're going to chat about a thing that is kind of a project we've been working on since before the summer. And you would have thought that this plan to make some Gacha Life videos, because he wants to do this, would have already, had something come of it, but nope. So, we're going to pitch some story ideas back and forth. And I think my video editing skills have gotten to the point where I can make his story ideas work and show him some tips and tricks, because I have been looking at info stuff on KindMaster, which is what I use, and well, we won't be using my really cool version. Well, maybe this should be fun. We've got some ideas, particularly for the setting. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We've got a title as well and a concept, so we need some conflict, we need some stories, we need some plot, and maybe some backstory for the characters to build on. But we can't have that until we actually sit down and hash some out. It's 12:09, because of course it is, because my kid forgot about a history thing he had to do, so he was just in here really late at night. Mom, you gotta help me, kind of thing. But it was about the history of French explorers in the New World, and especially the ones who got into the Texas area, like our favorite historical screw-up, Salle. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I can always use the excuse that I was not born in Texas. I was born in a different cowboy state. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But we absolutely love this particular historical figure. We've been big fans since a couple of years ago, when you would not believe what happened with this guy. Because I'm like, okay, all right, it just can't be that unbelievable. Hit me. And I had not heard of this guy, at least not as far as I can remember. But LaSalle had come over, buried, I guess, a brass plate near Louisiana, went back to France. He came back. His crew was sick. He had several ships. I think it was 3 ships, kind of like Columbus. His crew got sick. They got captured by Spain while they were coming through the Caribbean. They got to Texas. His crew absolutely hated this guy. More on that in a minute. He intentionally ran one of his ships aground. It was recently found, by the way, the remains of it. So his crew was, more angry at that point. Pretty much went, and this is my son's favorite bit, forget it, we live here now, and tried to set up a fort. And eventually his own men took him out. They mutinied and killed him. And I don't know if I'm just not telling it right, but it's you actually get into this stuff. It's like, how could this guy mess up so many times? And you kind of feel bad for the guys that mutinied because of all that they had gone through. So we were actually joking about making a modern retelling of history kind of thing with LaSalle. And it's like, Captain, we got captured by Spain. Yes, but I'm still the captain. We get so sick. Still the captain. You ran your ship into the ground. It's like, yep, sank my own ship. Still the captain. We're not even in the right spot. We live here now. So, yeah, because he's French, right? Bottle of wine. Gotta have that. One thing at a time. We gotta work on these Gacha Life videos first. Although I did suggest maybe we could just make a Gacha Life of LaSalle, because man, there is so much in history that you can find some of the best stories out of, and sometimes those stories are of the world's biggest yikes, like the most giant cringe moments ever. Super yikes. Alright, I am exhausted. My shoulders still hurt. I didn't feel flexible enough to get my 10s unit wires on. That sucks. So LaSalle, right? You would not believe how many times this guy messed up. Goals for tomorrow? Dropping my children off with their father so that he can have a turn and I can rest, because parents gotta do that sometimes. That, and it's his weekend anyway, he's supposed to have them. I haven't gotten to watch any grown-up TV except for old guys in suits being loud. I got some Supernatural, but that's TV 14. My older child is 13, which means that's kid stuff. Yep. No, best thing I get was LaSalle. Oh my goodness. I gotta make sure that I'm pronouncing that name right, and I will let you guys know tomorrow if I was. Because that's probably what I'm gonna do here in a minute. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna be up Googling until it drives me up the wall of LaSalle. And I'm not even sure if the guys who mutinied ever got back to France. I believe they had one functioning ship left. I think it was one sank, one was scuttled or scuttered. I don't know. Captain ran it aground on purpose. Tried to build a fort right there. We'll just, park ourselves here and take out Spain people. Oh man, I love history. We live here now. I'm definitely watching Supernatural tomorrow. The question is, do I watch it before or after I go drop my kids off? Probably after. We're going to be working on school stuff. Alright, that's it for me. Thanks for sharing my day with me.